Hi, and welcome back to Boss Wife. I'm your host, Ebony. Here is where you'll get your motivation for the week. Here is where you'll get the tools and tips to learn how to live, play, and laugh hard, unapologetically. Here is where you'll learn how to erase the lines of the box because you realize you cannot be contained. Here is where you'll learn how to show up for yourself. Here is where the most powerful transition will begin in your life. Welcome to Boss Wife. Hello, ladies, and welcome back to Boss Wife. I'm your host, Ebony. Thank you so much for joining me on tonight on September the 20th, 2022. I am super excited to be here with you guys as usual. And tonight it is just me and you, no company. You know how it is when there's no company in the house. We let all the guards down. We let everything just happen and flow. And so everything is just going to go naturally. So on tonight, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about making a change. It's time to quit, when to let go, how to move on, the norm, the things that keep us held back, the things that we allow to hold us back, the circumstances that we have no control over. That keep happening or don't happen or just all of a sudden happen, So those are the things that I want to talk to you guys about tonight. So you know the drill. Hopefully all the kids are put to bed. The house is quiet. If you're studying, if you're preparing for tomorrow, if you are, cleaning your house or just getting ready mentally and physically for your day preparation on tomorrow, you're just getting ready to lay down or whatever, just make sure you have peace, that you're zoned in, that you're listening and you're ready to grow, learn, and love. Okay, and by love, I mean love yourself. All right, so let's get started with tonight's topic. Again, the topic for tonight is it's time to quit. Okay, so I chose this topic because we as women allow so many different things to come through in and out of our lives, in and out of the doors of our homes, in and out of the doors of our emotions, and we settle for it, we allow it, and then all of this in turns affect our self-esteem, right? Our confidence. And this podcast is built on building confidence. And so tonight we are going to learn how to adjust the time in your life because it is time to quit. It's time to stop. It is time to neglect all those things that do not prepare for you, those things that do not deserve you. It's time to let go of all those things that make you feel like you are not worth what you're actually worth. One topic that I definitely wanted to start with tonight was, this is a big one, emotional baggage. And so many things bring about emotional baggage in our lives. So it's not fair to just jump on one topic per se, but I do want to stress as deeply as I can. You know exactly what emotional baggage you have in your life. You know exactly what it is. You know exactly how it got there. You know exactly. And so tonight I'm going to help you try to eliminate the excuses of why you think you should continue to carry this baggage along with you. Why you think you should continue to elevate this baggage and to prop this baggage up and to give this baggage decorations and to give this baggage all kinds of power and authority in your life. So step one, when you realize that you do have emotional baggage, the first thing you want to do is name it, right? You want to give it a name because we know normally when things have a name, they have a purpose, they have a reason, they have a meaning, they have some type of discernment, right? So like, what do they really deserve in your life? So you're going to name your emotional baggage. After naming your emotional baggage, at this point, you have a right to talk to it. You have a right to talk about it. You have a right to own it, right? So once we own our emotional baggage, because we already know where it generated from, we already know how it got there, who brought it, who delivered it, whatever, right? So that's step two. Naming it is step two. At this point, we're going to seal it, put it in an envelope, seal it up, put it in another bag or whatever you want to put it in, but put it in something and physically give it away, throw it away, do whatever you want to do with it, toss it in the river, whatever you want to do with it. But once you release this emotional baggage, again, we know where it came from, we know who brought it, we know why we have it. At this point, we need to name it because once something has a name, it has a place, right? So we're going to name it because when it comes knocking at your door again, you can say, listen, Jericho, or, bridge, or cat, dog, hat, whatever you want to name it. Name it. Say, listen, don't knock on my door again. You have to talk to this thing. You have to learn how to stand up to it and rebuke it. I know that's a Christianity word or whatever, but sorry if you're not a Christian or whatever, but name it and rebuke it. You have to stand on something. You have to let it know that you know exactly who and what it is, and you know exactly what it is bringing to you. And we do not want this emotional baggage back in our lives. So that emotional baggage that it's going to bring, the deception, the lies, the mistreatment, the tearing down of who you are, who your character is, and all of those things, the bad relationships that it's going to affect, we don't want any of that. So when this thing comes back to you, however it's going to get back to you, we don't want it to come back to us. But we know as women, we allow things to come back. We put it down and we go back and pick it up. That's human nature. But once we get rid of this thing, when it tries to creep back in your life, we now have a name. We now know where it came from, and we know where we want it to go back to, right? So that's what I want you guys to do with that emotional baggage. So for step 2, I want you to stop allowing certain circumstances to determine your tomorrow. Yes, our tomorrows do depend on what we did in our past, but a lot of things that we're holding on to, we are allowing, or we're giving it more power than we should. So every circumstance that is bad, good, undeserving, or deserving of acknowledgement doesn't deserve to be in your future. Every decision you make does not deserve to be in your future. Every decision you make that will affect your future does not hold worth to be in your future. And by that I mean, a lot of times we allow certain circumstances to just kind of overpower us. And, grief is one, losing a job is one, a breakup with a spouse or a significant other is one, hardship on a job is one. All of those moments do deserve the right amount of acknowledgement, right? But each one of those moments deserve a certain amount of time of dwelling. Every moment that we go through in life does not deserve a lifetime of acknowledgement. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Growing up in a bad home, that does not deserve a lifetime of acknowledgement. Being in a bad marriage does not deserve a lifetime of acknowledgement. Being on an unworthy job does not deserve a lifetime of acknowledgement. Stop talking about these things. Stop dwelling on these things. Stop bringing them up in every conversation you have. Stop reminiscing about these things. Those things, go back to number 1, those things carry emotional baggage, right? So those are sometimes uncontrollable instances that we cannot control. We have no control over losing a job. We have no control over losing a significant other or a family member. We have no control over a bad breakup or whatever. Like, we have control over bad breakups, let me rephrase it, but we don't have control over the other person in that situation with us, right? We can only control us. So don't allow every bad moment in your life to become or to make your life bad. Does that make sense? Like, don't continue to allow a challenging moment to cast a shadow over your life as a horrible life. It's just simply a moment. And there can be times when feeling stuck turns out to be a good thing, especially when it forces us to stop and notice what's happening around us. A lot of times we continue to focus on the negative. We don't realize that our children are growing up right under our noses, or our children are struggling with something, or our spouse is lonely, or our parents' health is failing, or we're sucking at our jobs because we're stuck on what's going on at home, and we're not in a healthy relationships, and then that's spilling over into our work life. Whatever. But these moments are just that. They're challenging moments. They're here to make you stronger. They're here to build you. They're here to help you grow. They're here either to help you heal or to help you become who you're supposed to be. So let's call a spade, okay? It's a moment. It's simply a challenging moment, or it's simply just a bad incident or something that just happened to affect your life in not such a positive way. But not giving it acknowledgement, or not, let me rephrase it, but not acknowledging something doesn't make it not there, okay? You do have to acknowledge things. We do have to go through the motions. We do have to, go through the whole grieving process or the whole healing process, or whatever process you have to go through. You do have to acknowledge that process, yes. But what I am saying is, you do not have to allow it to take full control over your life. Stop allowing simple things to control major parts of your life. Too often as women, we live in a hesitant, tentative life, totally unaware of the strength and power that we have to get much, much more out of living. Don't be one of them, okay? Don't wait until your life is well and truly sucks before paying attention to the signs it's time for a change. Our ultimate success or failure depends on our ability to recognize whether something is just a bad moment or a cry for help. Do you really honestly recognize those moments in your life. Think about it. Take time and really think about it. Have you forgotten that you have choices? Learn to recognize when enough is enough. When it's time to heal, it's time to heal. When it's time to walk away, it's time to walk away. When it's time to let go, it's time to let go. Enough is enough, okay? There are so many things in life that we have to give attention to, that we have to pay attention to, that we have to demand attention from. Neglecting who you are is not one of those things, okay? Neglecting what you deserve is not one of those things. Too many times I see women over and over and over dwelling on things that will give them no power, no self-esteem, no confidence. It will not help them get any further in life, only just stay stuck in the rut or the mess that they're in. And then we want to know why our lives aren't getting better, or why things aren't working out for us, or why the things that we're going after aren't coming to fruition. And the main reason is because the thing that you're giving the most power to isn't the thing that's going to help you progress in life. And that is so annoying to me. Like, I talk to women over and over and over about how they can go further and further in life, and then we get to this one point in life or in their life, and they just don't want to release it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to focus on it. They want to just say, oh, let me put something back over that, let me keep that covered up, and then, let's just keep moving on. Well, as a woman, that doesn't work for us. Like, we have to realize and acknowledge things. We cannot continue to sweep them under the rug and think that our life is going to be this great, powerful, successful life that it just has this one blemish in it, right? No, that's not how life works, because at the end of the day, when we get pissed off, what do? We name and talk about everything that got us to that point, right? We don't just go off about that one thing. Because for one thing, for me as a woman, let me just talk about myself. For me as a woman, it takes a lot for me to go off. But when I go off, I'm clearing out the whole house, or wherever I'm at, I'm clearing out the whole store, I'm clearing out the whole office. I'm just telling you right now, whatever has pissed me off, we finna talk about it from A to Z, okay? We ain't just finna talk about what happened between D and H. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, that's not what we finna do. We finna talk about the whole story. So as women in your life, whatever you're continuing to sweep under the rug and not want to face and not want to deal with, we got to deal with it. You have to. And I know tonight sounds like I am really demanding and I'm really putting a lot of force in our conversation, but you are allowing other forces to control who you are. So why would I not talk to you forcefully? Why would I not act like this is a moment in your life where you have to change it? Because guess what? It's time to quit. It's time to quit allowing things to have this much control over your life and holding you in this rut. If you are struggling financially, get another job. If you are struggling financially and you feel like you don't have time for another job, find some kind of side hustle you can do online. Stop allowing yourself to be stuck in a place that you do not have to be stuck in. And let me just be honest with you guys. I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Gas prices have gone down, yes, but food has gone up. Like, at first it was like, oh, you want to drive? Oh, okay, well, you can eat, but you can't drive. Now it's like, oh, you want to eat? Oh, no, you can drive, but you can't eat. And it's like, well, what you want me to do? Like, I got to be able to, I got to get my kids to school. I got to get to work. I got to be able to go to the work. Like, it's crazy because the economy doesn't care about you as an individual. So guess what? The little things that we are dwelling on, that we're giving all this power to, doesn't care about us. So if there's something in your life that you want to change, stop whining and crying and complaining about it and actually do something about it. Own your own stuff, okay? That is what I want to talk about that point. One last thing before we move on from this point, but it is to commit to making choices that nurture your personal growth. Give yourself permission to start a new chapter in your life, okay? Life can be what we make it, what we want it to be, and it can also be what we allow others to make it for us, okay? So give yourself permission to start a new chapter in your life. Close that chapter, okay? And make choices that liberate you from following the wrong path, the wrong purpose for you. If it is not fulfilling you in every aspect, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, it is not the path for you. Okay? That's all I'm saying on that point. Let's go to point 3. It's time to quit accepting things that you do not deserve. Whew. To me, that sentence alone will preach by itself. Because As women, oh my God, we accept everything that we do not deserve. We accept bad relationships. And I'm not just talking about sexual ones. I'm talking about emotional ones. I'm talking about family relationships. Girl, don't let me get started on. I better not even say that. Okay, so yeah, no, I can't say it. So if if you are suffering in relationships, family wise, on your job, in your home, as siblings, like stop accepting things in relationships that will hurt you. Because for women, when we get into relationships, we give our all, right? We give 100% into whatever relationship it is. And in these relationships, we give power to these relationships. We give power to these people because we have now invested ourselves in these people, right? So it's only natural that we let them invest in us as well. Well, when you're in toxic relationships, like I said, family, physical, spiritual, whatever relationship it is, whether it's on your job, in your house, in the street, whatever relationship this is, when you allow other people to invest in you, you put a lot of stock in what they think and what they say and how they feel, right? And then we take on those same feelings, thoughts, emotions that others feel. Whew, let me tell you, if they do not deserve you, stop allowing them to deposit into you. It is not going to be healthy for you mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Okay? It is hard. It's definitely hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's very hard. It's very hard to separate yourself from a toxic relationship, whether it's a mother and daughter, father and son, or vice versa, whether it's a sibling rival or an in-law rival or a physical or sexual relationship. Like it is very hard to separate those. It's very hard to put boundaries and structure there because we've let this thing grow into something that we can't control, or it's gotten so big now that it's kind of hard to, retract it. So starting from today, from September the 20th, 2022, put boundaries, set standards, stop accepting things you do not deserve. You do not deserve somebody talking down to you. You do not deserve somebody forcing their ideas onto you. You do not deserve to live in somebody else's shadow. You do not deserve to work on a job that doesn't respect you or doesn't value your worth. Now, don't get me wrong, please do not quit your job. But find something else that you want to do. Find something else that you enjoy doing. I talk to my husband about that all the time. If you don't want to do what you are doing, then don't do it. Nobody's holding a gun to your head and making you do this. Yes, responsibilities do feel like a gun, a double loaded shotgun, sawed off, whatever. It definitely feels like that. Responsibilities feel like they will take your breath away if you are not financially able to take care of them. But on the other hand of that, what did you do to get yourself to this point? Did you not prepare? Do we need to go back to the ant and the grasshopper story? We all know that story. What did you do in the summer of your life to prepare for the winter? That is the most important thing. And it is never too late to start over. It's never too late to start over in relationships. It's never too late to set boundaries or structure in your life and to change how you feel and how you want to feel about who you are. Okay? So I don't want to get too far off on a tangent on that, but stop allowing things to creep into your life that you do not deserve. You are a powerful force to be reckoned with. You do not have to bow, bend, or break for anybody else to walk all over you or to treat you the way that they want to treat you or to talk to you the way that they want to talk to you or to work on something that you do not want to work on or work with or work around. No, ma'am. That's not what we're going to do. This life is too short. We see it every day. COVID has taught us, if COVID hasn't taught you anything, it should have definitely taught you that tomorrow is not promised. You can be the wellest you've ever been and die tomorrow from a cold that you have no idea what's even in your body. Okay? We allow and we accept so much and we don't return it. We harbor it, like we just hold on to it and it's like, oh, this is ours. No, defeat is never yours. Distraction is never yours. Low self-esteem is never yours. Again, these are things we have to name. Again, these are things that we have to acknowledge, because if you don't acknowledge them, if you don't accept them, if you don't name them, we're going to continue to carry them around with us, okay? So, like I said, this is the time that we're going to quit allowing things to tear us down. We're going to stop accepting things that are not worth our time of accepting. As a woman, accepting things that do not deserve us is very easy to us. And I guess because we love so easily, that's that nurture part of us. And it's like, oh, and we make excuses for it. Oh, it'll get better. Things will change, or I can change this, or I can change this person. Life was not created for you to have to change or manipulate things into how they should be for you. Okay, just kind of chew on that a little bit. Not everyone sees you through the same eyes, but everyone does deserve to have someone in their corner who appreciates them just as they are. Just a small piece of advice, ladies. Feelings of worth will never flourish in an atmosphere of criticism where mistakes aren't tolerated and differences are belittled. It just will never happen. If you are designed by people who are discouraging you and critical, and the spark of inspiration and hope that allows you to be in touch with your deepest potential is being crushed, then guess what? That's just how you're going to feel every day. Crushed. You're going to live your life like you can't breathe. You're going to live your life like you can't move. You're going to live your life like something is on top of you. Like there's no room for you. There's no hope for you. And you are accepting this. And this is becoming your normal every day. And then we wonder why, again, things aren't going the way we are. The other day, my son told me he was having anxiety. And so I told him, anxiety isn't things that you're faced with on that day. Anxiety is an underlying feeling. It's an underlying emotion. It's an underlying situation or circumstance that you have not dealt with. And you can be playing in the park. You can be playing basketball. You could be in the movies, watching a movie. You could be sitting at your desk working on something else totally different. And you'll start to feel anxiety. You'll start to have a panic attack or whatever. And then you're trying to figure out, wait a minute, what's going on? What do I feel like? What's happening? Yes, some things do trigger panic attacks or anxiety, but there is always an underlying issue that you are not resolving. And guess what, ladies? We live with this every single day, and this becomes our normal, and we think this is okay, and it's not. Who told you that this was okay? You deserve to be appreciated, to be valued. Surrounding yourself with those who have a constructive attitude towards you helps you to follow your path towards greater success and happiness and the achievement of your dreams. So, guess what you need to do? Is it coming to you now? Like, is it becoming clear? Listen, I'm only here to help you. I'm here to help you grow. You are here to help me grow. You're here to help me to love me. You're here to help me to build my confidence, as well as I'm here to help you build your confidence as well. So on tonight, I want you to allow these things to kind of marinate in your spirit, marinate in your mind and your soul and your heart. When you get up in the morning, do your yoga and your meditation, reflect back on what we discussed tonight, okay? You deserve way more than probably what you're accepting. And start with the small things. You don't have to start big. Start with the small things. Free yourself from those pesky irritations that get you down. You're more free than you give yourself credit for, okay? You have to allow things to stop getting under your skin. Stop making your flesh crawl. Stop swallowing that hard pill when you don't want to. Stop listening to the negativity when you don't want to. You don't have to, so don't accept it, okay? You're free to stop letting minor annoyances take a hold. You're free to feel whatever you choose. You're free to take control and refuse to react in the old ways. Life consistently delivers challenges, okay? Whether you react or respond, and how you respond is entirely in your hands. It's not up to anyone else. It's not anyone else's decision. So guess what? Take control of your life. Figure out what you want, how you want it, and deliver it, okay? Deliver it to yourself. Be your own best gift. That is the best advice that I can give you. So tomorrow, practice letting go of something that would normally annoy you, okay? Start with the small things, like I said. Each day, practice letting go of something that would normally annoy you, that you find annoying. You'll find happiness in everything that you do, Okay, happiness will last longer. You'll be at more peace, and you'll realize that your mental your mental capacity is so much better. When I learned to stop allowing small things on my job to affect my peace, I have become more efficient at my job. I've become more peaceful, more restful when I get home. I'm not always angry. I'm not always irritated while I'm at work. I don't feel as tired and bogged down while I'm at work. And it's the small things. Like I can't control what other people do. So why would I get asphyxiated on it? Like, why would I worry about what they're doing and what they're saying and how they're doing their job? This and another. First of all, I'm not their manager. Second of all, they don't work for me, because if they did, they'd be fired a long time ago. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm just saying, like, I just learned how to let the small things go. I don't dwell on them because they will not help me in the long run. So, ladies, that is what I have for you tonight. I really hope this helped you, because it really helped me. And just know, like, when I'm talking to you guys, I'm also talking to myself. A lot of these things that come to me, or a lot of the things that I study and learn about and read up on, they come to help me grow first, and then I bring them to you to help you grow as well. So tonight, I hope my little tips helped you. I hope that tomorrow when you wake up, and either you're listening to this in the morning or you listened to this last night, whichever one. But I hope this helps you grow in every area of your life, not just in one area, not just on your job, or not just in a relationship, or not just, like, don't nick and pick. Like, use this information throughout your life, because in every circumstance, there are things that annoy us. In every circumstance, there's emotional baggage. In every circumstance, there are things that we're allowing to, that we are accepting, that we should not be accepting, to belittle us or to make us feel uncomfortable, or the things that don't appreciate us. Like, you know your worth, okay? We've discussed this before, and I know this is definitely going to be a thing that you're going to have to hear over and over and over, because every woman does, because sometimes we forget our worth. And sometimes we feel like it's okay, and sometimes we feel like things are going to change. Sometimes we accept things because we think they're going to change, or we can change them. No. If you go into something thinking that you can change it or that it'll change, it won't. It's just, and it wasn't created for you. So that from day one should tell you this isn't for me. Anything that God has created for you is for you. It's tailor made for you. Okay. It already knows exactly how to fit you like a glove. So there's no circumstance or situation you should go into thinking it's going to change and it's going to get better, because it should already be perfect for you. So I really want to say thank you for joining me again tonight. I hope that you figure out what time it is in your life. And like I said, tonight it is definitely time to quit allowing a lot of things to happen and to take control of us. But figure out what time it is in your life. Figure out what time it is in certain circumstances and situations. Figure out what time it is for you to grow in certain areas. What time it is for you to stop growing and stop expanding and release in your life. Like, what time is it there? Put time limits on everything. If I was you, I do. Like, my job definitely has a time limit. Me raising my children, certain aspects of their life has a time limit. In every relationship has a time limit. If you're married, you definitely know your marriage has time limits in certain areas of your marriage. Like, you don't do the same things you used to do, or some things that you didn't do, you now do, or whatever. Vice versa. Like, everything has a time limit. So I would advise you to either text yourself, make memos, put it up on your mirror, put it on your wall, but write down some things that you're done. You're done with. Write down things that you need to put a time limit on. Write down things that you are just gonna quit doing. Just gonna stop, eliminate. But on those text messages or memos or postcards or whatever you're gonna put up, or whatever you're gonna use to remind yourself, make sure you put yourself as number one. It is time for me to make myself number one. I am going to quit allowing myself to be second, or I'm going to quit allowing myself to be last. It's time to stop, okay? It's time to quit. It's time to give it up. You are number one. Your future is number one. You can't be great if everything in your life isn't going to add to your greatness. If it's not adding, it's taken away. If it's not adding, it's a burden, okay? So that's it. I love you. I hope you have a great night. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. I hope you have a great week. And I speak that over you. Like, I speak that into your life. You know, things are going to happen this week that you have no control over, but I speak greatness into your life. I speak overcome into your life. Like, you will definitely overcome that situation. You are a conqueror. You are more than a conqueror. Okay. You were created for greatness. You're going to be great. You're going to flourish. Anything that you put your hands to this week is going to become great. Every inch of ground you step on, you will conquer this week. Okay. So I love you. Have a great week again. Have a great night. Have a great day. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Please do not forget to like, share, and comment. If you have not subscribed on my YouTube channel, please do so as well. But thank you for making me great, ladies. Thank you for continuing to push me, continue to join me, continue to join me. I'm sorry. It's late here, but continue to join me every week like you do already. And I will see you next Tuesday. Good night. Love you.